We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Gloria. Christ in the manger. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you all. Guys, Merry Christmas to you all, entire the United Hotspot family. It doesn't matter whether you're Christian, whether you're atheist, I don't care. For as long as you're human, you were created by God. So certainly, Christmas should be important to all of us. So wish someone you know a Merry Christmas. And of course, thank you so much, guys, for subscribing to the United Hotspot and growing with us. My name is Webb. Always a pleasure, especially on Boxing Day Eve. Do you know why? Because Boxing Days for the past couple of editions under new managers have been going on so well for us. And here we are. It's the eve of Boxing Day. That means it's Christmas. And we're excited about what will happen at Wolves. It's an important game. And I'm here to give you some team news. But also, I first want to remind you of how we've been performing in Boxing Days. You do remember, since Alex Ferguson left 2013, and David Moyes, the fasting Boxing Day game we had post Sir Alex Ferguson was a 3-2 win against Hull City. We won that one on the road. Very important win. Then we had Louis van Gaal come in. That was the second Boxing Day with a new manager fixture. We beat Newcastle 3-1 in that one. Then Jose Mourinho 2016 Boxing Day. It was that famous. You remember the Scorpion kick by Henrik Mkhitaryan? I remember that like it was yesterday. A 3-1 against Sunderland, an important victory for Man United. Then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well won on Boxing Day. I think Solskjaer beat up on which team was it? Solskjaer's, it was also a 3-1 win. I think it was Huddersfield Town. Solskjaer, yes, we beat Huddersfield Town under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And then in 20, again under Eric Ten Hag, the first Boxing Day that was in 2023, Boxing Day fixture, another exciting victory. That one was a pressure game because we went 2 goals down, you do recall, against Aston Villa. Came from behind, a brace from Alejandro Garnacho, and a winner from the new boy, Rasmus Højlund, to show us what he's made of because that was his first goal at Old Trafford. That is 10 minutes before the end of the game, and we were all excited. I remember my match reaction that day was from the heart. It felt so good. It felt like I was watching Man United for the first time in so long. It felt so good. But what on earth is going to be written again as part of history in the annals of Man United as Ruben Amorim plays his first Boxing Day fixture? They are always so important. We're taking on the Wolves who have got a new manager, Portuguese as well. Certainly, Victor Pereira is a man that Amorim was waxing lyric about, won a couple of titles with FC Porto. He's a winner. And of course, you do know that the new coach thing always, works in favor, especially if clubs are playing at home. So expect a tough game, guys. In any case, there are no easy games for Man United. But we always have got to keep believing. Now, in terms of team news, the expectation, and we do hope this happens, that Mathis de Ligt returns in the backline because he has been out of the last 2 games because of illness. There's news that he could be available. Of course, the manager will confirm that, or the head coach Amorim will confirm that. But he is expected to be available for the game because, guys, you might not see how important delete is. They say you never know what you have until you lose it. But trust you me, we've clearly missed this man in the last 2 games. The 2 games that delete has been away, Man United has conceded 7 goals. 7 goals in 2 games he's been away. That shows you how important he is because he's an organizer, but also Delete, I think, is one of the better guys we have when it comes to set pieces. He wins aerial duels both on defensively, but also when we're attacking in corners and stuff. He's good at winning aerial duels. He's physically good, but also he's a technical player who organizes the team a bit. So you get a sense that maybe, just maybe, with him, we could look more stable like we are like we were in the past games when he was there. So it's an important update. If he is available, Ruben Amorim said his rotations are not because he's trying to identify which player plays where and stuff. He says the reason he rotates is because he's trying to avoid injuries. Now, the elite returning will give him an opportunity to rest Harry Maguire, who I think under Eric Ten Hag in the past 3 months had played about 1 game, 90 minutes for only 1 game. So certainly he needs to rest. And who is going to replace him? It is got to be Delete if he's going to be rested. So guys are managing the injury situation at the clubs, but also the set pieces. You want to hope that that could be another area of improvement in the coming game. against Wolves. Then, of course, Marcus Rashford, according to Ruben Amorim, spoke and said Marcus Rashford wants to play. Now, this is Amorim saying we cannot know whether this is true or he's just playing because managing the media, but he says Marcus Rashford wants to play. I don't believe him. I don't quite believe him. Uh, I feel like Amorim, I've said it here before that Amorim looks to be this tough guy. He smiles in public, but he's a very tough guy, strict tough. You know those plastic smiles? He wears sometimes certain plastic smiles, and you're seeing a tough guy, which I love. I like it. I live for such managers. Smile in public, tell them things honestly, tell them what they want to hear, but you're tough. I just feel like Ruben Amorim is a proper replica of Mikel Arteta. That's how I view Mikel Arteta. He laughs in public, but he's such a strong-willed character. He's got such a strong personality, a strong character, and cannot be moved or shaken by anything. For me, that's the kind of manager we need, and that's what I see in him. So him saying that it's my decision, saying that he doesn't regret any decision. The media, British media, kept trying to corner him into admitting that maybe it was a mistake to leave Rashford out, and trying to get him to say something. But he has been consistent with his statements, saying, "Of course, I will not. I will pretend like I didn't watch the interview. All I want is the best for Marcus Rashford. Let him play football. If he's good, I'll put him there. He wants to play. From what I see, I'll judge him based on what I see during training. He trains with Man United. He's part of the team. The issues do not affect the team and all. It's just you love to hear this guy talk, and people will tell you managers come and go, and of course they talk and talk. But you see, I keep telling people that one of the the weaknesses of Eric Ten Hag, and I do remember dropping a video about that, and I'll drop a video about the weaknesses of Ruben Amorim too, because he has some. He's not perfect, honestly. No one is perfect, but I dropped a video about the weaknesses of Eric Ten Hag, and one of them was his failure to manage the media. I'm only imagining because the case with Ruben Amorim is not so different. Amorim and Rashford is not so different from what Eric Ten Hag had with Jadon Sancho. Because maybe the scenarios are not exactly the same. Because with Sancho, it was more of a personal thing you feel publicly, but it became public because Eric Ten Hag made it public. It was that there was a personal fallout between the two of them. Perhaps it's the same thing, a personal fallout between Marcus Rashford and Ruben Amorim, but you can see how Amorim is managing it so that it doesn't escalate it to affect the team, and so also not for him to lose focus on the team. You see, the British media will be so insistent on an issue, especially when it comes to their own players. I would imagine if Marcus Rashford wasn't an English player, I don't think every press conference they would be asking Ruben Amorim about him. They would ask him for example, take an example of Garnacho. Garnacho too, who has been a better player for Man United until the time I think they both started being dropped. I think for the most part of the recent year, the last final year of Eric Ten Hag, Garnacho was a better player for Man United than Rashford ever was. But Rashford is left out of the squad, something everyone was advocating for, but the media only asking mostly about Rashford, not Garnacho. It shows you of that natural sort of bias because this is their own kid and they want to just make it look like he's larger than life. Amorim has been stoic, consistently backing his decision and not coyed or chickening out because of the pressures and media twisting and trying to bring their own interpretations. He's telling us things are okay. The player understands why it was done, and he's working hard to get back and stuff. Debunking any theories to do with the Henry Winter interview. This for me is a show of character. And see, every manager calls for a player to every manager calls for a player to fit into what they want to build. Now, if Rashford is not doing that, and Amorim has the audacity and the balls to come out there and say, "No, big as you are, top earner, I'm not putting you in there." For me, that's the show of character. So I don't know what will happen. Of course, we might be shocked. Anything could happen, and Rashford is sneaked back into the squad. But to be honest, I quite don't feel it's going to happen. I quite don't think it's going to happen. So for me, I strongly believe his time is done. And of course, the swap deals that are being spoken about, the links to him being swapped and stuff, are things that I believe I, uh, I will happen. I think the swap deal involving Victor Osimhen rumor, baby rumor, sort of, but I think it would make a lot of sense for every party, like I explained in one of my recent videos. If you haven't watched it, you can look it up, video before. Uh, but something has got to give in. But anyhow, moving on to the players we have, I do hope that certain players improve their game. Nusal Mazraoui, first case in point. Nusal Mazraoui needs to improve. Kobe Maino needs to, I think he doesn't look 100% fit. He needs to calm down and play proper, his number 8 role properly. I think he needs to improve in the coming game, but also most importantly, our goal scorers have got to improve. Whether it's Zirkzee or Hoyland who starts, most likely it's going to be Hoyland. But whichever striker starts, you want to believe that they have got to step up their game and score goals, because this has been the weakest part of Man United. And in my next video, I'll focus more on what needs to be done if we are going to convert the so many chances that we create, like it was in the previous game. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe. It's Christmas, and of course, tomorrow is Boxing Day, and Boxing Day action is always exciting action. Like, share, and subscribe. I will be back with more.